Hello everyone. Welcome to Research Circle YouTube channel. First of all, thank you so much for subscribing our channel. Those who haven't subscribed to our Research Circle channel yet, I request them to please do subscribe. Our today's topic is how to get your PhD funding. Now, there was a person named as Daniel Dresner. He was a professor of Tufts University. Once he said that, should you get a PhD? Only if you are crazy or crazy about your subject, then only if you fit one of those two categories, you will no doubt be keen to find out how to finance your mad endeavor. And yes, how much does a PhD cost? So, first thing first, how much does a PhD cost? Here, the answer varies considerably by country. In the UK, the annual tuition bill is around 3,800 to $7,670, and converted into the euro, it is 3,000 to 6,000 euro. In the US, the price tag for PhD is even higher, which ranging from US dollar 28,000 to US dollar 40,000 per year. In Germany, on the other hand, PhD students face no tuition fees at all. So, before some of these high figure deter you, be reassured that there are many PhD funding opportunities available. Few PhD students are self funded also. Now, PhD funding from a National Research Council. In the UK, PhD funding is provided via seven research councils, each covering a specific academic sector. Across Europe, such a funding is offered by European Research Council. Both the US and Canada have the equivalent in their national research councils, which give financial support to students either individually via scholarship or for funded research projects via research group or department. Now, PhD funding from universities, well, most universities provide substantial scholarship, studentship, and other PhD funding opportunities. These schemes typically cover the cost for a good proportion of the annual tuition fee, if not more. Universities often also provide some funding for doctoral students to cover the cost of field trips and conference attendance also. Further means to fund a PhD is by obtaining a PhD position, sometimes also called a PhD studentship or a assistantship. There are essentially jobs tied to the PhD program involving work in a teaching, research, or both. This is an ideal way to support your research while being involved in larger, often team based funded research project and gaining a work experience. Now let's talk about living cost and opportunity cost. Other costs to be considered when calculating a PhD funding are living cost and opportunity cost. Actually, living expenses will of course vary significantly by country and city. Studying in a Paris, that means France, or Oslo, which comes under Norway, will likely incur a substantially higher annual cost than completing a PhD in Bangkok, which is Thailand. For example, in addition, opportunity cost can be high. Unlike master degree, which usually take just 1 or 2 years full time, a PhD demands markedly higher time investment. Most programs require an absolute minimum of 3 years, and some require 5 to 6, depending on the country. During this time, full time employment is a possibly possible only if it is in the relation to the PhD program itself. Some may opt to continue working and attempt to complete a PhD part time, but this has proven to be exceptionally challenging. Some studies suggest that dropout rates for part time PhDs are as high as 66%. Now, let's talk about the career prospects with a PhD. But while this might all sound daunting, there are considerable benefits and advantages to getting a PhD. In other words, the prospects for career with a PhD are good. While entry level salaries may not be considerably higher compared to those for a master graduate, those with a PhD do have better long term prospects for a faster career and pay scale advancement. And a growing number of PhD students consider a postdoc life outside of academia. There has been clear trend in non-academic employers such as consultancies, think tanks, media, and others, increasingly valuing not only the specialist knowledge of PhD graduates but also their maturity and soft skill. Attributes valued by PhD employers across a wide range of industries include diligence, research abilities, focus, discipline, presentation skills, and the demonstrated ability to work under pressure and to a deadline. For all those aspiring doctoral students who aim to have a quick return on their investment, a word of caution. Please listen to these words. The benefits of PhD are not to be had in the fast lane. The value of PhD qualification is to be found in the long term benefits it brings, financially, professionally, and intellectually also. It is a labor of love, and as we know, there is always some madness in love, but for those with realistic expectations and the discipline and the tenacity to complete the highest academic degrees, it is tremendously rewarding experience in more ways than one. So, I hope you understood this topic, and this is for the day. This is the way how you can get your PhD funding and some details about the PhD funding. Thank you so much for watching this video.